listening to Combat Sports UK.
Combat Sports UK.
Guys, Ben Thomas with Combat Sports UK here. And as you can probably tell, we're not exactly cage side at the Plaza in Port Talbot anymore. It's a few days after Adrenalin Fight Night, but I am here with the man who got it done on the night, your winner, Alfie Parker. Alfie, first things first, we didn't quite manage to grab you for a chat on Saturday night due to either a minor concussion or a slight adrenaline dump. So the most important question is, how are you feeling now?
A couple of days after, I'm feeling buzzing. I mean, I've watched the fight a couple times back, and I mean, I clearly won round one, and I just about snatched round two, but but about it.
I thought you would have had a chance to watch it back, and it was an absolute war. It was an absolute banger of a fight.
Yeah.
Were you watching it back excited, or were you a bit nervous for some reason that you're in that situation anyway?
Watching it back, I couldn't really remember what happened. I could, but I couldn't. But watching it back, I thought it was more clear to myself that what I was doing. But I thought the grappling exchanges were just one of the most high level around, really, as amateur.
It was absolutely sensational. But were you kind of happy with your performance? Because from my perspective, it looked like a really mature showing. You showed serious fight IQ out there. Like you just said, your grappling was up there with some of the best in amateur MMA right now. Do you agree that that was a great performance from yourself? Are you happy with it? Or are there parts that you'd maybe want to tidy up if you ran it back?
I'd love to run it back, but I've had a tough camp. I had a couple of skin infections through the way, and the fight was quite short notice. It was on 3 weeks. But yeah, I mean, on a full camp, I'd be a different type of person. But I'm happy with my performance. I mean, I've never won a 3-round fight, so just knowing and learning off that 3-round fight is gonna be great.
I mean, listen, as well, you're only 16 years old. Just to get the experience itself as well, already involved in a scrap like that. Do you think getting tested that early in your career will be a positive for yourselves, or do you think that's just you showing, listen, I can go 3 rounds with some of the best, go to war, and still come out the other side with a victory?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of best of both worlds, really. Because I benefit off that a lot. I know what I need to work on, and then I know what I've got right now off just that one fight. I look at it back all the time. I've watched that fight back so many times, just looking what I've done wrong already, and it's been 3 days, not even that long.
And you're only 16 as well.
Yeah.
That still blows my mind. But listen, going into the fight, you were quite confident that you get the job done inside a round or two. Maybe that was kind of like you just trying to get yourself in the correct mindset. It didn't quite happen, but did your opponent kind of catch you off guard? Obviously, you had seen him compete against Bethan a couple of weeks beforehand. Did he catch you off guard a bit? Did he maybe bring slightly more to the table than you were expecting?
I mean, I knew he was tough, but I didn't realize he was that tough. His defensive work was brilliant. I couldn't get anything on him. There was about 4 submissions in that fight that I just couldn't finish because he was just that tough. I mean, the dart in the first was unbelievably tight, and he just didn't give up.
It was honestly unbelievable. You had so many submissions almost locked in that it looked like the fight was about to be over any second, but fair play to him. Absolute warrior, stayed in there, absolutely unbelievable. But you had a moment as well in the fight. There was a moment where your head hit the canvas about 10 times, just being bounced back off it. And I was like, this is getting closer. I was like, is he all right? But you stayed through it. In that moment when you could feel your head being hit against the canvas, were you slightly worried and knew that you had to get into a better position?
Well, I kind of knew. I could hear people going 30 seconds left. So I mean, I just heard Shaky and Jack saying, "Get up, get up." And when I was on my feet for the first time, I saw his leg in between my legs. I thought, "Fuck it, I'm gonna roll for a knee bar," but I don't know. And then I just thought, "Oh, survival instincts, innit?" But I mean, I'm not really that smart, so it doesn't matter if I damage my brain or not.
I mean, I think you're doing yourself an injustice there. Even when you're with your MMA mind, You're a very smart lad. Like, don't get me wrong, but it was just such an incredible performance. And shout out to yourselves and Neo because you both put on an absolute three-round war. The crowd in that arena throughout that fight was absolute buzzing. Could you hear any of it?
Uh, I could hear like the screaming and like, let's say if I go in a submission, I could hear the crowd going, but I couldn't really like hear people as much.
Just your corner, I imagine, because listen, you had a stacked corner on the night. Obviously, you have Jack Shaw, you have Richard Shaw who do the talking, but you also have someone like Liam Davis. When you've got someone like Liam Davis in that moment who's just been in there recently in a similar sort of bout to yourselves, in an amateur bout, he's been there. Does that kind of help you knowing that he's in your corner and he can give you advice from his standpoint as well?
Yeah, obviously because like Jack is has been done amateur, but like Liam has got the most knowledge at amateur right now. Obviously, he's just gonna turn pro soon, so it was really beneficial to having him in my corner and just having him as a training partner. Really,
I mean, your gym at the moment, I've been saying this for years, like Sure MMA continues to go from strength to strength. And just when you think, maybe they're not going to produce another killer right now, along pops someone else. Like along pop another 10 people that you've never even seen before who are like absolute killers. Talk to me about the motivation of training at Sure MMA and being surrounded by killers, being coached by killers. Talk to me about that.
I mean, it's nuts really. I joined Shaw's just over a year ago now, and it's basically like my second home now. I'm always there. I'm always training. I mean, Jack has basically took me under his wing, and Brett. They all have really, and they're just coaching me. It's just unbelievable. Like the words, I can't even express how I feel when they're coaching me. Like
It's
watching them grow up as a little kid, like watching Brett Johns in the UFC. It's just like a dream to meet him and getting coached by him.
I can't even imagine how old you must have been when he. Do you remember that calf slicer he got?
Yeah,
How old
um,
would you have been? What, like 9 or something?
7, 8, I think. I remember watching on TV.
And now you're literally being coached by him. You're getting taught by him. It's unbelievable. But listen, you've now moved to 4-0 as an amateur, still just 16 years old. During fight week, this win would bring you one step closer to amateur gold. Is that the goal for 2025 now? Do you see a shot at gold in your next fight coming up?
I mean, 100%. Yeah. I'll be back in the gym for a few next days, and then I see what it brings. I won't rush for it, but I 100% deserve it. Really, I'm turning 17 at the end of the month, but 4-0 at 16. I don't think many people have really done, and I do deserve gold. But here is what it is. I won't rush it.
Do you have any promotions in mind as well? Because I know a lot of the Shure MMA guys like performing on the samurai cards, but you haven't got a samurai card now until October. And I know you're one of those guys who likes to maybe go to a Budo, go to an Adrenalin, go anywhere really. Do you have a promotion in mind of where we can maybe next see you?
I mean, that Budo title's up for grabs. I don't think there is anyone at flyweight to score it. So, um, if anyone would want to fight on there, obviously. But there's loads of shows over the summer, but it depends if I go on holiday or not or whatever. But yeah, I'm ready active. Like I'll be back in the gym. I'm straight back in camp, getting ready.
Absolutely unbelievable, especially after a three-round war like that. But finally, are there any shout outs you'd like to give for your fight on Saturday night?
Um, I shout out call my coaches, Shaky, Jack, Brett, Rob, which is my jiu-jitsu coach, and then obviously my mum and dad and my girlfriend, which they all do a lot for me. Like, but yeah, and all my mates for coming to support me. I mean, they're the same age as me, and they're finding a way to go all the way down to Port Albert to come watch me fight. I mean, it's buzzing to just be in that kind of atmosphere.
Unbelievable. And it's only the start. But Alfie, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Congratulations on your sensational win, and we cannot wait to see you back in there next time.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Love